The sweet of being true to oneself. The sweet of being true to oneself. On a quiet night when the stars twinkled like watchful eyes, Sami sat on his bed after Isha prayer, feeling something heavy in his heart. He remembered that he had told his mother a tiny lie today. He said he had finished his homework when he hadn't. He whispered to himself, "I sometimes lie to others, but the hardest is that I lie to myself too." Then he ran to his grandfather and said softly but sincerely, "Grandpa, today I want the hardest and most honest sweet, the sweet of being true to oneself." Grandpa didn't give his usual smile. He looked at Sami with eyes full of love and seriousness, then slowly opened the magical chest. He took out a completely transparent sweet, like soft pure glass, with a tiny heart inside pulsing with faint white light. Grandpa said quietly, "This sweet can only be tasted by a heart ready to see itself as it truly is." Sami placed it on his tongue. It didn't melt instantly like the others. It lingered, then slowly melted almost painfully, piercing layer after layer until it reached the depths of his heart. Suddenly a huge, transparent mirror stood before his soul. He closed his eyes and opened them in a strange place called the Room of Lying Mirrors. The room was full of strange mirrors. One made him look taller, handsomer, smarter. He smiled proudly. One made him look stronger and braver. He stood boastfully. One hid all his faults, so he saw only beauty. One magnified his small achievements until he felt like a great hero. Sami walked among them smiling, but the heaviness in his heart grew. Deep down he knew something was missing. Suddenly the floor opened, and he fell into another place called the Valley of a Single Mirror. There stood only one mirror, huge, transparent, neither flattering nor diminishing. It reflected a person exactly as they are. Sami stood before it, and for the first time saw himself truly, a child who is sometimes afraid of the dark but pretends to be brave. A boy who loves praise and sometimes exaggerates his stories. A kind heart that told a small lie out of fear of his mother. Eyes that tear up when he is unfair to himself. Sami cried in front of the mirror, but they were tears of relief, not sadness. Then a little girl in a dress as transparent as the mirror appeared and said in a voice pure as water, "I am truthfulness with oneself, the most beautiful and the hardest trait. I don't make you look prettier. I make you real, and that is what makes you truly beautiful." Through his tears, Sami asked, "But I'm scared. What if I don't like what I see?" She smiled and said, "Being true to yourself is not punishment. It is the first step on the path of change. Whoever sees their flaw can fix it. Whoever lies to themselves stays trapped in illusion." She placed her hand on his heart, and every small lie melted away like white light leaving him. A transparent light spread from his heart. All the lying mirrors in the first room shattered, and every wall became an honest mirror. The children who had been boasting stopped, stood before the true mirrors, smiled with relief, and said, "I'm not perfect, but I'll try to be better. I'll tell my mom I didn't finish my homework and start right now. I'll always tell myself the truth, even when it's hard." The sweet melted completely, and Sami was back with his grandfather. He opened his eyes. Grandpa was waiting calmly. Sami said, voice trembling with peace, "Grandpa, being true to myself was bitter in the first bite, but then it became the sweetest taste in the world." Grandpa took from his pocket a small, perfectly clear round mirror and said, "Keep it in your pocket always. Before you do anything, look into it first and ask, am I being honest with myself right now?" Sami hugged the pure mirror and said, I'll start tonight. I'll go to Mama and admit my little lie, then finish my homework immediately and be my own first friend, because I have tasted true freedom, and its flavor is being true to myself." From that day on, his friends called him the boy with the pure mirror, because he began to see himself as Allah sees him, and his heart became as clear as crystal.